कृष्ण प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम। आनंद गिरिधारी प्रभु, I heard you and I heard Himanshu Prabhu. दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, you are doing okay प्रभु जी? You are not sounding
Really?
so well.
No, I'm doing fine. Okay. I don't know why.
Okay प्रभु जी।
Right. We'll wait for 1 minute, then we will begin.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद, प्रणाम और गणेश।
जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
प्रभु नंदोला प्रभु
प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी। हरे कृष्ण। We can begin now. Is my sound what do we say? Audio loudness okay?
प्रभु जी।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So we are reading from Shri Isopanishad, verse number 4 to 6 today. Okay, so this is verse number 4. The Supreme Independent. The Supreme Lord is unsurpassable in all respect. Anijadekam manasho javiyo naina deva apnuvam purvam arshant tadhavatonya attiti tishtat tasminapo matarishva dadhati. Anijad, the Lord is fixed in his abode, not shaking, not moving, not fearing. The Lord is fixed in his abode. Ekam, he is the one person among all entities, with no equal or superior, and with a form full of knowledge. He is the only one. He is the only one who is fixed in his abode, and manaso javiyo, he is swifter than the mind. Nainya deva apnuvan purvam arshat, even the powerful demigods or senses that move quickly cannot approach him. So there is only one person who is fixed in his abode. Fixed in his abode means um, we will see the different meanings of that. He is swifter than the mind. He can go anywhere at any point of time. Swifter than the mind, like how it is explained. We can think of something and we are there. We can think of India, we are there. We can think of wherever. So mind can go at very fast speed. But this one person who never leaves his abode, who always lives in his own abode, and he's the only one, there is nobody beyond him. And he's swifter than the mind, and even the powerful demigods that move quickly cannot approach him. He surpasses all others who are running, though he is situated in one place, because he is all pervading. So those who run, he is fixed at one place, but then he can surpass them. He can go beyond them. He controls those who supply rain and air, and even the devatas. They also come under his control. Okay, this verse and the next verse speaks about some inconceivable. The next verse especially speaks about the inconceivable potency of the Lord. The absolute truth is ultimately a person. Therefore, this verse elaborately describes his personal features, namely being the supreme, the fastest, fearless, the incomprehensible, inconceivable, omnipotent. So this is, I mean, many verses speaks about the aspects of his personality. So it says Ekam, he is one. So that cannot refer to just Brahman. So, and then he's the fastest, he's fearless. You cannot say, this energy is fearless. When we say he is fearless, he is one and he's fearless and he's fastest. And he controls even air and rain. It is always referring to that personality. We cannot say this energy controls, this energy is the fastest, this energy is fearless, like that. Then he is incomprehensible, means we cannot comprehend him. Why we cannot comprehend him? Our mind cannot comprehend him because we can think with our mind, but he is beyond. He runs faster than the mind also. It is said even if we travel with the speed of mind for millions of years, still we cannot reach or cannot think of Goloka. It's like that, incomprehensible. Inconceivable, cannot conceive him. Omnipotent, because everything, he's superior to all, even the devatas. Nobody is more powerful than him, and that's why he's omnipotent. The absolute truth is ultimately a person. Therefore, this verse elaborately describes his personal features, namely being the supreme, the fastest, the fearless. There's a repetition. Anyways, so Krishna's energies, there are three. There is internal potency, marginal potency, and external potency. Internal potency is the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, and the Vaikuntha planets. They are manifested from his internal potency. Marginal potency are the living entities, we, the Devatas, and the external potency is Maya Shakti. So these are all Krishna's potencies. Okay, now something from the purport. Perfect knowledge means to know the Lord in all his features, his potencies, and how they work by his will, as described by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Basically, perfect knowledge means to understand Krishna, to understand the different energies of Krishna, like how Maya Shakti is energy of Krishna, we are the energy of Krishna, everything material or spiritual is energy of Krishna. Perfect knowledge also means understanding Krishna in different features, like there is Krishna's um, personal feature, there is Krishna's Paramatma feature, there is Krishna's Brahman feature. So knowing Krishna in all his features, knowing all the potencies of Krishna, and knowing how everything is working under his direction. The whole creation, the whole destruction, maintenance, and materially or spiritually, how he's the cause of all causes, everything is working under his direction. Everything is different energies of Krishna, and Krishna himself is realizing different features. So when we know everything, that means we have perfect knowledge about Krishna. And that's why he's inconceivable, but only devotees can understand him to the limit that Krishna reveals himself to his devotees. The jiva, being parts of the Lord's marginal potency, have all of his symptoms, but they are all limited and they are never equal to him. So it is said that living entities, like Nectar of Devotion describes, Lord has 64 qualities. They are in full. The living entities have up to 50 qualities, and they are in very minute quantity. The Lord has everything, 100% full qualities. But some of the potencies that Krishna has that even Jivas does not have. So the Jivas, being part and parcel of Lord's marginal potency, have all of his symptoms. Like we have a form, we have desires, we have some little bit of free will. So whatever we have is coming from him. Whatever qualities we have, that is in minute quantity, and he has them in full. Basically understanding Krishna's personality. Then under the influence of Maya, ignorant jivas try to speculate about the Lord, but they cannot appreciate his full potency. There are many people, I mean, not the devotees, many people trying to understand God, but they can never understand Krishna. Because we are very minute and we are ignorant. And if we don't read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, there is no way we can understand Krishna. And even if we read, we realize him to the extent we practice bhakti. To that extent we realize it. So under the influence of Maya and ignorance, Jiva tried to understand or speculate about the Lord, but they cannot appreciate they cannot understand him. I was talking to one Japanese, this is during my college days, 2010. I was talking to him, we were having discussion about that time I was doing my master's. And then I asked him, so what's God for you? And then he said, sun is God. So different people have different understanding, nature is God, but jivas covered by Maya and ignorance and being minute by nature can never realize Krishna. cannot appreciate his full potency. The Lord is not subject to our limited capacity of understanding. By limited, even great philosophers, sages, or demigods cannot know him by speculation or reach him by traveling through space at the speed of wind or mind for millions of years. This way Prabhupada says you travel with the speed of mind. We can travel with the speed of mind maybe 10,000 or 100,000 miles per second. But even the demigods actually, they can, anything wrong happening, like Hiranyakashipu doing austerity to please Brahmadev, and Brahmadev can appear to him within no time. So we cannot go to Satyalok within no time. Ravana wanted to build a staircase that goes to heavenly planet. We cannot do that. But the Devatas are very fast. They can come from Satyalok to here within no time. But even if they also travel with that speed, or even with the speed of wind or the speed of mind for millions of years, even then they cannot reach Krishna by traveling. Even great philosophers, sages, or demigods cannot know him by speculation or reach him by traveling through space at the speed of wind or mind for millions of years. Krishna is just beyond, cannot. Krishna cannot be attained in the mind. Like if I try to think of Krishna in the mind, no. But Krishna can appear in our mind by his own sweet free will. Vrindavan can appear in our mind by its own sweet free will, by bhakti, and we can reach Vrindavan in no time. Even Golok Vrindavan we can reach, pure devotees can reach. But otherwise, no matter how much we try to speculate about Golok Vrindavan, about Krishna, nothing can be accessible. That's why Krishna says, a jiva is like helpless to realize and to understand Krishna. It is only by mercy that Krishna can be realized. The Lord is known only by his understand Krishna, and by Krishna's mercy only can devotees understand Krishna. One devotee asked His Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj, Maharaj, do you know everything? And Maharaj said, we know whatever Krishna reveals to us. So whatever Krishna reveals, that much a pure devotee will know. But we cannot, so the Lord is revealed only to his devotees by the Lord's mercy. Lord is completely and supremely independent. And one should try to learn about the Lord from the Lord himself, the supreme source and knower of the Vedas. And if you want perfect knowledge, first we saw what is perfect knowledge. Knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna says knowledge about the absolute, my vibhutis, my opulences, my universal form, the most confidential knowledge. So Krishna himself revealed, and those who have bhakti can understand. Others will misunderstand Krishna's words also. That's why so many versions of Bhagavad Gita. So one should try to learn about the Lord from the Lord himself through the medium of his pure devotees. That's how we can attain perfect knowledge. Otherwise, whether one is a demigod, sages, or philosophers, or anybody, even if they try to run at any speed, they just cannot understand Krishna in their mind or by traveling, or in that way he is insurpassable or unattainable. Only bhakti. When we intelligently utilize our active nature to understand that everything is the Lord's potency, we can revive our original consciousness, which was lost due to association with Maya. The process is to see everything in pursuance of bhakti and devotion, seeing everything with that perspective of devotion, and seeing the hand of the Lord in everything. And just by practicing bhakti, that's how our covered consciousness, the enjoyer mentality consciousness is minimized, and our original consciousness of eternal part and parcel of Krishna, eternal servant of Krishna, that is gradually reawakened. and that's how we can understand Krishna. So this is verse number 4. Verse number 5 is again on the verse number 4 speaks basically he is fixed in his own abode. He remains in his own abode. Yet this verse further like expands on the previous verse also. He is fixed in his own abode. One cannot attain him, even if one runs with the speed of mind or faster than speed of mind. He is one. He controls everything. Remains in his abode. Nobody can reach him by one's own potency. And from there, he controls even the rain and wind and all the other demigods. No demigod, sages, etc. can understand him or can attain him. And he can, but he can run faster than the speed of mind. He can go and even the fastest living entity, he can go so for example, Brahma can go from Satyalok to earthly planet. But the Lord can travel that distance much faster than Brahma. And the reason is because the Lord is everywhere. His omnipotent feature is omnipresence. He is present everywhere. So Lord will just appear from wherever he wants. He is everywhere. So, okay. Okay. And this verse will further clarify and add to the previous verse. Contradictory, inconceivable Lord, contradictory qualities of the Lord. Tad ejati, tad naijati, tad dure, tadva antike, tadantar asya sarvasya, tadu sarvasya bhayata. The Lord moves and does not move also. The previous verse said this Lord is fixed in his abode, and here it says the Lord move and the Lord does not move also. The Lord is far away and he is very near as well. So the previous one, and even with the speed of mind, one cannot realize him, attain him. But here it says that he is far, far away, but he is very near also. So that's how this verse add to the previous verse. Like what previous verse says, here that is said and the contradictory qualities also mentioned. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. Actually, it's very nice that what Isopanishad says about Krishna. Krishna says, now behold my inconceivable, now hear about my inconceivable potencies. And there Krishna says, I'm within everything and I'm outside everything. Everything is within me, but I am not in them. And in this way, like everything that Krishna says there, and Krishna says here, Vyasadeva is writing about the Lord, and there Krishna himself is describing. Now here about my inconceivable qualities. Here Prabhupada very elaborately describes these qualities. Our limited knowledge cannot accommodate the contradictions mentioned in this verse. How can somebody move and does not move? We cannot understand. Either somebody is moving, if somebody does not move, then he won't move. But if he moves, then he can move. How something is far away and something is very near as well. And he is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. Okay, our limited knowledge cannot accommodate the contradictions mentioned in this verse, but all contradictions are resolved when we consider the inconceivable potency, Achintya Shakti of the Supreme Lord. Without such inconceivable potencies, there is no meaning to the word Supreme Lord. The reason we call him Supreme Lord means he can do anything. He has inconceivable potencies. He is simultaneously personal and impersonal, depending on the consciousness of the people who approach him. Some see him impersonal. reveals to them as impersonal. Those who see him as personal Krishna, he reveals himself as Krishna. Those who see him in other forms like Narasimha and Ramachandra, he reveals to them in that way. He has unlimited and inconceivable potencies. So now how he is far and near also. So first is how he is omnipresent. He is omnipresent. The Lord is far away because the ignorant and the arrogant cannot approach him. So in that way, he is far away. Those who don't know, they cannot approach him. Even the demigods cannot approach him. So he is far away. He's so close because he is in everyone's heart. For one who is all pervading, what is the question of being far and near? He is everywhere. So he's everywhere. So then how can he be far? He is far because Prabhupada says because if something is near, you can catch him now. This cup is near, so I can take the cup. I can catch the cup. But if the Lord is very near, because he's everywhere, he's within the heart, but he's far because even if we travel for millions of miles with the speed of mind, we cannot attain him. Never can we attain him. So he's like too far to be unattainable, but he's right in our heart. So that's how he is far. And this is one explanation, omnipresent. Then the Lord's abode is in the spiritual sky, far beyond the material universes. That's one way we can see that he's physically very far in his personal form. So these are various ways to understand how he's far and how he's near. In 15th chapter, Krishna says, there is no sun and moon in my abode. So he describing about his own planet in Bhagavad Gita also. We have no means to measure the expanse of even this material sky, but to speak of the spiritual sky. This universe is like that much Brahmaji can handle. And to handle multiple universes, there are millions of Brahmajis to handle millions of universes. And they are all just like some um, tiny balls in the material existence, and what to speak about beyond that Brahma Jyoti and then the Vaikuntha planets. So it's just too far. Physically also his abode is too far. Then he is near, although he is so far. Within less than a second, he can descend before us with a speed swifter than that of the mind or wind. He can run so swiftly that no one can surpass him. This is exactly what the fourth verse says, that he is unsurpassable. Nobody can go faster than him. He can descend before us with a speed swifter than that of the mind or wind. He runs so swiftly that no one can surpass him. He is in Golok Vrindavan, but from Golok Vrindavan, Krishna can come with Mother Yashoda within no time. Or there are cases where Krishna came and rescued and with some milk for Sanatana Goswami, and he also came with some milk for Madhavendra Puri. And Sanatana Goswami, he came twice actually. One time he gave him his own Shila and told him not to do Govardhan Parikrama. For Raghunath Das Goswami, he came to protect him from Bagh, that lioness tiger, to protect him from him. So we see, and then Bilvamangal Thakur also, Krishna came to reciprocate with him. So Krishna is in his own abode. This is not Paramatma. This Krishna of Goloka Vrindavan who descends to reciprocate with his devotees. So although he's so far, he is very near because like this he can appear. So he's so near and he's so far. So these are the two explanations. Then he does not move. So two explanations. One thing, he's far because we cannot attain him, and he's so close because he's in the region of the heart, and he's far because ignorant and arrogant people, they cannot approach him. And physically also he is very far and he is very near because he can be there right, the Krishna of Golok Vrindavan. One way he is very near is because he's in the heart. And one way he's very near because he can descend in no time and he can be in front of us. If we are ready, he will be there right away in front of us, but we are not ready. So in both the ways, he is very near. Then he does not move can mean that he does not stray away from dharma. And he always moves to protect his devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam. So this is one way Srila Prabhupada explains. He moves and he does not move. So he moves means to protect his devotees, he can go anywhere at any point of time. Like in the form of Narayan, he came to protect Prahlad. He came to protect Gajendra. He came to reciprocate with Dhruva. So he moves. He goes wherever he likes. And then he does not move. He does not move means he never deviates from dharma. He never supports a dharma. Okay. Then he is inside and he is outside. He appears and doesn't appear. Okay. So the Lord is within everything and can mercifully appear at any place to favor his sincere devotees. But he doesn't appear by the orders or challenges of atheists. So he appear and he doesn't appear. Example, what came to my mind is Puranjan. Puranjan was attached to his wife, became a woman in the next birth, and then in the next birth she was married to a husband. The husband died, and this girl who was Puranjan in previous life, she was lamenting at the death of her husband. And she was deeply attached to her husband. So naturally, she would have become a man again in the next life. Then the Lord appeared from her heart and came in front of her as a Brahmana. That was the Lord himself, but she thought a man has come, a learned Brahmana has come. And then Brahmana said, "You're not able, did you not recognize your closest friend who is always with you? Why don't you, the closest friend is within you in the form of the Lord, in the form of Super Soul. He is closest to you. Previous life you were attached in a particular way, this life you are attached in a different way. Why don't you get attached to the one who is within your heart, who is your closest friend? Why not develop that relationship internally?" And then she became self-realized because the Lord spoke. And the Lord spoke, naturally it hits, and the mercy comes through Vachik. We discussed this in Nectar of Devotion, how one can attain the stage of Bhava and Prema. And we discussed it is the mercy of the Lord, and mercy of the Lord can come through the glance, through Vachik, or through a thought. The Lord may just desire, then the living entity is delivered, or by words. We saw the example of Sukadev Goswami in Nectar of Devotion. He wanted Lord to tell him that he will not be covered by Maya when he come out of the womb. Lord says, "So be it," and so he was never touched by Maya. So blessings through Vachik. So that's how he received the blessing. Why don't you turn towards the closest personality in your heart? And she immediately developed that relationship and she became liberated. That's how that story is there in Bhagavatam also. So the Lord is within everything and can mercifully appear at any place to favor his sincere devotees. He can come anywhere. He's there. He appears, and he doesn't appear by the orders or challenges of atheists. We see some atheists say, "God, if you are there, come before me. Otherwise, I will declare to the whole world that you are not there." So he doesn't appear, or sometimes he appears to show favor. So Prahlad said that the Lord is everywhere, but his atheist father Hiranyakashipu did not believe this. To prove Prahlad's words correct, the Lord appeared from a pillar as Narasimha and killed the father. One thought that came to my mind when I was first reading this is, like Prahlad said, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, "Where is your Vishnu? Where is your Lord?" Prahlad said, "My dear father, he is everywhere." So Hiranyakashipu said, "Oh, he's everywhere? Is he in this pillar also?" Prahlad said, yes, he's everywhere and he's in this pillar also. So Hiranyakashipu said, all right, so let me kill your lord today. Let me see. Show me where he is. Ask him to come out, why he is hiding. And I will defeat him with my own fist. And with his own fist, which was as hard as iron rock because of his fist of Hiranyakashipu, because of the blessings of Brahma, he punched the fist and Lord Nrsimhadev appeared. And I was thinking, before I was reading, that the Lord never let the word of his pure devotees go false. One book I was reading, it mentioned that anybody who sincerely is practicing devotional service and is approaching perfection, it says like 20 years or sincerely practice, something it mentions. Then they get the siddhi of whatever they say will happen. And the Lord never let his pure devotee's word go false in any circumstances. Whether Brahma give a benediction or Sukadev Goswami give a benediction or Narad Muni give a curse or Prahlad Maharaj give. So Krishna makes sure the word of his devotees, they never go false. There is a story also of somebody in Jagannath Puri and um, 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 it was something like he wore a garland or he gave the garland to his wife or something, and when the king came, so the Jagannath garland was meant to be offered to the king. So then he became scared and he took the garland from her or something, and then he offered it to the king, and the king noticed the hair, and he wanted to kill the pujari. He said, you offered it to maybe your wife or you wore it or something, and this hair is there, and this is a great offense, and you are offering that to the king. This great offense, and I give you death punishment. Then the pujari of Jagannath, he said, no, my lord, your honor. He became very scared. So he said, no, actually, these are not my hair. This is Jagannath's hair. So king was surprised. King says, Jagannath doesn't have hair. He said, no, Jagannath has hairs. So king take darshan every day. So then he said, all right, tomorrow morning I will come and I will see if Jagannath has hairs. And if Jagannath does not have hairs, then be ready for that punishment. So he was like trembling in fear and he could not sleep the whole night. Then the next morning the king came. He went to the temple and then he prayed to Jagannath, the pujari. Then he saw that Jagannath had hair. So the king thought this pujari is like he's trying to bluff me, cheat me. So he thought that he has put wig to Jagannath. So he plucked the hair from Jagannath, and then Jagannath head started bleeding. And then he begged forgiveness multiple times, and he thought, my lord, I never realized that you have hairs. I never noticed it that you have hairs, although I am king for so many years and I come every day for darshan. So Pujari was very grateful, obviously, and his life was saved. So that's another story that whatever comes from a pure devotee, the Lord makes all the arrangement to make the words of a pure devotee goes true. So it is very nice to receive once a blessing from a pure devotee of the Lord, that you can become free from Maya, or you can attain love of Godhead, get blessings from pure devotees once, and now Krishna is bound to. And pure devotees are very merciful. When you meet pure devotees, you can say, Prabhuji, please bless me in this way, and they say, okay, I will bless you. Then Krishna, even if he doesn't want, he is bound to make the word of his pure devotees true. This is his promise. That is very nice. So he appears and he doesn't appear. To fulfill the word of his devotee Prahlad, he appeared. Otherwise, if we break a pillar, he won't appear when we break. But when Prahlad said, he is bound to appear. So to place a favor to his sincere devotees, the Lord mercifully appeared anyway. So He is inside of everything, and he is not. He is not. He is outside. But he doesn't appear by the orders or challenges of atheist. Then, seen only by the surrendered. So Lord Krishna treats his devotees depending on the degree of their surrender. Same verse, Yethama Prapadyante. He reserves the right not to reveal himself to anyone. He is always close to the surrendered devotees, but far away and unapproachable to others. So those who are surrendered, he is within their heart. He is within their consciousness, and he reveals to them, and he is a reality for them. But those who are not surrendered to him, he is far away, unapproachable. They chant, they hear, they offer food, they do so much devotional service in whichever way they can. But if they're not really surrendered, then they cannot approach him. He remains invisible, hidden. Not much reciprocation, although little is there to encourage, or to atheists, never. But to a surrendered devotees, he reveals to them. So Krishna reveals to those whom he wants to. He has complete independent free will. So he is seen only by surrendered souls. Srila Prabhupada can experience. Some of us may not be able to experience. Our Krishna is there. He is there in Goloka. He is there in their heart. He is there everywhere. But then our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, they see. He reveals. There's a reciprocation. But for us, Krishna is invisible for some of us. And maybe not much reciprocation, and we are just trying to do something. So he's seen only by surrender. So he appear, he doesn't appear. So in that way, he's there, but he's not there. If you see from the atheistic point of view, he's not there. If you see from the sincere devotee's point of view, he is right there. So these are his inconceivable potency. He chooses, like, for example, if I'm standing with the pure devotee may see Krishna right in front of me and I cannot. So he chooses whom to reveal, like completely. He has all, is inconceivable. That's why he's a supreme Lord. One example that comes to my mind is Bhaktivinoda Thakur was with his son, Saraswati Thakur, and he was with a clerk, and they were standing in Godrum Dweep, in Sukhadananda Kunj. They were standing there. Then it was night time, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw this huge manifestation, Adbhut Mandir, and it was shiny and it was brilliant. It was in dead of a night. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was amazed. He asked his son Saraswati Thakur, "Do you see? Do you see anything?" Saraswati Thakur says, "I see a Adbhut Mandir manifesting in front of me, of Lord Chaitanya." Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very encouraged. It's not just me, my son also sees. Then he asked the clerk, "Do you see anything?" The clerk said, "I see the night. I see the darkness. I don't see anything else." So he's there, he's not there. He is appearing, he is not appearing. Complete free will the Lord has. Like we see, everything about Krishna is inconceivable. We see that when Krishna plays the flute, only those hear, those who want to hear. Those who Krishna wants to hear. Others, they don't hear. Everything about Krishna is inconceivable. You can be sitting next to Krishna and you cannot, even in Goloka, and you will not hear Krishna playing flute. And somebody may be very far away in Govardhan, if Krishna in Vrindavan may be by Govardhan, and they hear Krishna's flute. Completely inconceivable. Here also Krishna chooses whom to choose. There also Krishna chooses whom to choose. Inconceivable. Everything about him is inconceivable. Then he is Virat and Antaryami. Lord Govinda enters the universe as well as all the atoms by his plenary portion. He is outside everything in his Virat form, and he is within everything as Antaryami, or maybe like the super soul. So in that way also, In his universal form, he is outside, and in a super soul form, he is inside. So he is outside, he is inside. He is outside, he is inside. In another way we discussed is, he is right there in front of us for a sincere devotee, and for an atheist, he just doesn't exist. He's outside, he's not there, something like that. Okay, then as Antaryami, he witnesses everything and awards the results of our actions as karma phala. We must undergo the reactions of our actions, although we may forget what we have done in previous lives. So this is Srila Prabhupada's commentary. He says, as super soul, he is noticing everything. He knows everything. Antaryami means the knower of everything, or the witness of everything. So he sees everything, he knows everything, he is the inside of everything. And we have to go through the reaction of our action. Cannot escape our karma. We may forget how I ill-treated somebody in the past, how I had maybe a critical thought about somebody. We may forget, or how I, whatever inappropriate behavior I may have, offensive behavior I may have. We may forget, and we think like, why this happening to me and everything. But he's Antaryami, he knows everything, he knows our past. So he brings it back to us, and he is perfect. We cannot say, I don't deserve it, why this is happening to me. Only a neophyte says, why this is happening to me. I'm always a good person, why this is happening to me. But a devotee knows that actually I deserve worse. What is happening is like, unlimited mercy of the Lord is of the Lord. I deserve worse. Okay. Now then, personal and impersonal. So we cannot see God with our eyes. That does not mean that he has no personal existence. The Mayavadis accept only the Lord's impersonal feature and reject his personal feature. But the members of the Bhagavad school accept his inconceivable potency and thus understand that he is both personal and impersonal. So they say we don't see him, so he does not have a form, or they have so many speculations. But only devotees can understand that he is both. The Lord is never formless. His personal aspect of Brahman effulgence is but the glow of his personal form, just as the sun ray are the glow of the sun god. And Krishna says, Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. My pratishtha, my effulgence, Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. My pratishtha is Brahman. My effulgence is Brahman. My aura is Brahman. We were discussing recently. There is a light, and one light is there, and that light illuminates the room. So, so this aura of the light is like the Brahman feature, and the source of the light is Krishna. His aura is Brahman. So he is both. So this is, some say he is Brahman, he is impersonal, some say he is personal, but he is both. Everything is within him. He does not lack anything. Then there is the concept of Saguna and Nirguna. Is the Lord Saguna? Is the Lord Nirguna? So the Lord is Saguna and the Lord is Nirguna both. So Nirguna means he is without material qualities, and Saguna means he has a form. He has 64 qualities. Some of the qualities of Krishna is he plays flute. He has loving relationship with his devotees. Prem Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, Roop Madhuri, and then all the other qualities that Narayan has. So the Lord is Saguna, he has qualities, but then he is Nirguna. Nirguna means no material qualities. When the Lord appears with perceivable qualities means you see him, he is fighting, he is carrying. He need not take a material form and be subjected to the laws of material nature. So the Lord is Nirguna and the Lord is Saguna simultaneously. Krishna is there. He comes in front of us if we were there 5,000 years ago, or Lord Chaitanya comes if we were there 500 years ago. He comes, he's fighting on a battlefield. We see him on a chariot. So he's Saguna, he has all the qualities, but he's Nirguna because his form is not made up of three modes. We are saguna materially also. Our body is made up of three modes, but not his. So he is saguna and nirguna both. Another contradiction in him. Scripture says he is nirguna. Of course, he is nirguna. Then somebody says, but he is saguna. Yes, he is saguna. Is he nirguna? He is nirguna. Is he personal? Yes. Is he impersonal? Yes. Is he far away? Yes. Is he close? Yes. Is he yes? Is he yes? Everywhere the answer is yes. All contradiction. That's why he is inconceivable. Otherwise, we cannot call him Supreme Lord. Everything comes from him. So everything that exists is in him, is coming from him. The material energy works under his direction. One time I remember Srila Prabhupada with some of his disciples, there were some professors. And they said the soul is coming from Krishna, but the body is material. Body is Maya. Body is not coming from Krishna. Body is coming from Maya. So Prabhupada disciples, they said, yes, body is coming from Maya. It's made up of Maya. Body is not coming from Krishna. The soul is coming from Krishna, which is true. And then they asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada said, no, why? Body is also coming from Krishna. Soul is also, I've created, everything is coming from Krishna. So both are true. Body is also coming from Krishna. Body is coming from Maya also. Both are true. Why? Because the Maya came from Krishna. Earth, water, fire, air, ether came from Krishna. The Krishna said, these are my external potency, these are my... Everything comes from Krishna. The material energy works under his direction. Maya Dakshina Prakriti Sute Sachara Charam. So he can use it for his purposes without ever being influenced by its qualities. Thus he is Nirguna. He is never influenced by three modes. Three modes work under him. He is not influenced by them. He directs. He tells Maya what to do. Maya does what he says. Maya is not independent and exerts her influence on Krishna. Maya listens to Krishna and Krishna says what to do and she does that. That's what Krishna himself says. See, this is working under my direction. Bhagavad Gita is great. That's why we discussed earlier. Everything in Isopanishad, you have heard everything actually. And everything that is there in Bhagavad Gita. And this gives us an understanding also how Bhagavad Gita is great. That's why it is said that there is nothing that exists, no knowledge that exists that is not in Bhagavad Gita. And one way to apply the invocation prayer says Krishna is Purnam. Everything that comes from Krishna is complete. I was just contemplating on this. Everything that comes from Krishna is complete. Krishna's universe is complete. Krishna's incarnation complete. Krishna is complete. And then I was thinking, Krishna's Bhagavad Gita is also complete. Because this knowledge comes from Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. So this knowledge is complete. Anything that comes from Krishna is complete. This is the quality of Krishna. Purnam adaha, Purnam midam, Purnasya. So it's like everything about from Krishna comes from Krishna. Complete, 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 complete. There is nothing lack. Very interesting how Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. He describes in 13th chapter the qualities, knowledge and ignorance. What is knowledge and what is not knowledge? Arjuna asked 6 questions, 13th chapter. To be discussed 2 questions, what is knowledge and what is not knowledge? And Krishna describes these qualities and he says, all this is knowledge. Anything beyond this is ignorance. So it's like, everything about Krishna is like complete. These are the 6, Arjuna, these are the qualities of human. That human being, 26 qualities of Vaishnava. Arjuna, what was I saying? Yeah, Arjuna, these are the 6 demoniac qualities. I mean, if somebody asks us, can you say how many demoniac qualities? We'll keep on going with the list. and we can never say these are all the demonic qualities and rest all are divine qualities. But Krishna said 6 qualities, and Krishna said these 6 are demonic and the rest are divine. So, like everything that Krishna speaks now is like complete, perfect and complete. Anyway, so then play of inconceivable potencies, incarnations. Non-believers and fool neglect the Lord when he descends, considering him a mortal being with a material body and see him like an ordinary man. So this is play of his inconceivable potencies. His potential inconceivable, but those who don't have Krishna's mercy, they cannot understand him because Krishna is inconceivable. So when he comes, we cannot understand him. Avajananti Mam Mura. Avagjananti Mam Mura.
Manasri, Manumashri.
Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna says, fools, fools deride me when I descend in a human-like form. How Prabhupada explains this. So Krishna is coming, and because Krishna is inconceivable, everyone will perceive Krishna in according to their own capacity, but nobody can understand the inconceivable aspect of Krishna. Even Arjuna could not understand Krishna because Krishna is inconceivable. And when Krishna revealed himself to Arjuna, Arjuna said, "Arey yaar, I made a great mistake by, I didn't understand who you are." Krishna says, "Yes, Arjuna, nobody understands me." So non-believers and fools neglect the Lord when he descends, considering him a mortal being with a material body and see him like an ordinary man. Source and controller of all energies. For the Lord, there is no difference between the material and spiritual energies because he is the source of all energies. And thus the energies can be converted and utilized according to the will of the source, Krishna. This we will cover this and then I will explain together. Even if the Lord appears in the form of material energy, he can convert it into spiritual energy. Example, the Lord appeared in the form of Archa Vigraha, a deity made of earth, stone, or wood. So, source and controller of all energies means, once again, now, for the Lord, there is no difference between the material and spiritual energy. Is this cup material? There is no difference for Krishna. There is no difference for pure devotees also. Because he is the source of all energy, and thus the energy can be converted and utilized according to the will of the source Krishna. Krishna can make this cup spiritual. Krishna can make this cup material. The energies can be converted and utilized according to the will of the source. And Prabhupada gives an example of a deity. A deity is made up of same elements like maybe a wood, maybe a stone, maybe a metal, like this cup is metal. So same elements which may be material by nature. And then Krishna may desire and Krishna may manifest, and that becomes a spiritual energy now. This is one way to see, like, like Yugal Bishop Prabhuji always says, if you worship Tulasi on a table and you use it only for the purpose of worshipping Tulasi, then the table is spiritualized. We also hear that the body of pure devotees are spiritual, not material, because they use in Krishna's service. Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Instruction. What is this? Another inconceivable aspect of Krishna. A flower offered to Krishna is spiritual. Garland offered to Krishna. Cloth offered to Krishna. When the cloth exists in the market, it is maybe a material energy. But when they are designed with a desire to be offered to the Lord, and when they are worn by the Lord, it is spiritual. Temple, Prabhupada says a temple is a spiritual word, Prabhupada says. And Prabhupada also says, my mission is to make every home into a temple. So all of your places are also spiritual. All of your homes is Vrindavan. So what is material, what is spiritual? These are inconceivable energy of Krishna. Krishna is inconceivable. Food offered to Krishna Now Prabhupada said this is spiritualized. Prabhupada used the word this is Krishnized food. But then it is just same rice, dal, roti, sabji and other things. So what energy is what? It is inconceivable. So Krishna is inconceivable. Everything about Krishna is inconceivable, and all the things are also inconceivable. Common man cannot understand, but a devotee can understand. So for the Lord, there is no difference between material and spiritual energies because he is the source of all energies. And thus the energies can be converted and utilized according to the will of the source. Krishna is the source of all energy. We distinguish material and spiritual. Krishna can make anything spiritual, anything material, using Krishna's service. And if Krishna accepts, Krishna cannot accept matter. Na? If the moment anything comes in touch with Krishna, is spiritualized immediately. Example is Archa Vigraha. Even if the Lord appears in the form of material energy, he can convert it into spiritual energy. Deity form, we cannot see the Lord. So these are another play of inconceivable potencies of the Lord. He seems like a human, but he's standing in front of us, and he may be like, if you are pure devotees, or he may wash your feet and you cannot understand who this personality is. So everything about Krishna is inconceivable. Like the way he was washing the feet of all the people who were coming for Rajasuya sacrifice in Indraprastha. He was washing their feet. Inconceivable. Everything about Krishna is inconceivable. We cannot see the Lord due to our imperfect material vision. So he appears as a deity to become approachable to us and to accept our service. So we cannot see him as he is in Satchidananda Swarup, because we are covered by the illusory energy. So he comes in a form that we can perceive, that seems like material, and then he same Satchidananda, like we have Radha Gopi Janavallabha. So somebody asks, is he made of marble? If you say it's made of marble, then it is not seeing in knowledge. But if you say he is made of Satchitananda, this marble, this apparent marble is actually Satchitananda. Now it is seen in knowledge. But he comes in that way, but then he can tweak and turn his own energies. So what is spiritual, what is material? A pure devotee, for a pure devotee, nothing is material, because he sees everything in relation to Krishna from that perspective. But Krishna can turn material object into spiritual if he so desires. So the deity is not an idle fashion according to the whims of the worshipper. This form is eternally existent with all paraphernalia. This can be actually felt by a sincere devotee, but not by an atheist. Those who worship deity sincerely or go to and serve Radha Gopi Janavallabha, see it for yourself. Try it for yourself. The deities have a spiritual energy around them. Everything about the deity is spiritual. You touch and your body will be filled with divine potency. Some of you who worship Radha Gopi Janavallabha or worship deity in your home, you can see that. Anything you do, and you will immediately feel the surcharge of divinity that is emanating from that form. Om Tad Vishnu Yat Param Padam Sada Pasyanti Surya Deva Chaksh Atatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagravam Sasa Samandita Vishnu Yat Paramam Paradam. That verse says, before we enter the altar, we say, now we are entering into the Vaikuntha Loka. When you enter into the deity, into the altar of Radha Gopi Janavallabha, where they are standing, that place is Vaikuntha. The whole temple is Vaikuntha. And when you enter that deity room, that is also like that. With that mood, one enters. I was hearing one devotee was mentioning his mind was very, very disturbed for some reason. And then he was addressing the Lord. I heard one devotee mentioning. He was addressing the Lord and his mind was very, very disturbed. And this thought is coming, why this, why, and something happened, and he was very unhappy, and he was thinking, the moment I see that devotee, I'll tell him. So, sometimes mind is very much disturbed, and he was having all these thoughts in his mind. And then he was having this guilt feeling in his heart, and he was sharing. He said, was having this guilt feeling in my heart that here I am dressing Radha and Krishna, God Nitai. Here I am dressing them, and I am having this feeling. What is this? How will the Lord accept my service if I'm having this feeling? And he was unhappy, but the mind is mind. He was unhappy to have such a mind. He was feeling unfortunate. Why these thoughts are coming to me? And then he was mentioning that when I was serving their lordship, it just there was such spiritual energy by serving their lordship, that all those thoughts, they just like like a magic show, like a magic show. The magician, he shows something, and then and it disappears like that, a magic. Whatever was going on in his mind, and everything disappeared. And then only thing that is coming in his mind while serving is Govinda Adi Purusha Tamam Vajami. You are the Supreme Lord, my Lord. I worship you. So this is not possible. You cannot touch maybe a stack of card and with a disturbed mind, and this a pen or stack of card or table or chair can transform your mind and can completely spiritualize it. This is not possible. This is a play of, this is because the form of the Lord is transcendental. Jaha Krishna taha nahi maya adhikar. Krishna Surya sama maya hoya andhakar. Maya is like a darkness, so this Maya captures. But Jaha Krishna taha nahi Maya adhikar. Wherever Krishna comes in picture, Maya goes away. That is a proof that Krishna is there. It is, this Archa Vigraha is not a stone or a metal. This Archa Vigraha is Krishna. This Archa Vigraha is Radharani. This Archa Vigraha is Archa Vigraha is Nityananda Prabhu. They are present there with all their divine potencies. And I I forgot that this Bhakti Shastri course. So naturally, this course is meant so that we can go and serve Radha Gopichana Vallabha. That is the purpose of this course, and you all can experience it for yourself. Um, these are inconceivable. These are play of Krishna's energy. Before it was just a stone, and when it was just a stone, that potency didn't exist in that stone. But now this is being worshipped and installed, and now this is Satchidananda Vigraha, form of the Lord. So the Lord can play with this because they are all energy of Krishna. Both material and spiritual, they are all energy of Krishna. And Krishna can convert. Krishna is inconceivable. Everything about Krishna is inconceivable. Only a devotee can understand and perceive. That's why it's all internal. Oneness and difference. Oneness, there is nothing but God in and out. Everything is a manifestation of his energy, like the heat and light emanating from a fire. And thus there is oneness among his diverse energies. So there is oneness. Oneness means everything is a manifest. There is nothing but God in and out. So there is oneness and there is difference. Is there a thing material and it's spiritual? Yes. This is mundane karmic grain, and this is Mahaprasad. We clearly say that this is karmic grain and this is Mahaprasad. There is difference and there is oneness also. Krishna can make the same grain into Mahaprasad. So there is oneness and there is difference. There is nothing but God in and out. And from another perspective, whatever exists is coming from Krishna, and Krishna's energy is not different from Krishna. So in that way, there is oneness and there is difference. These are inconceivable potency of the Lord. Everything is manifestation of his energy, like the heat and light emanating from a fire, and thus there is oneness among his diverse energies. They are everything, like how a pure devotee sees. Prabhupada says, one devotee asked Prabhupada, how do we see Krishna is everywhere? Yugal Kishore Prabhu quoted this, and this pastime of Prabhupada. And Prabhupada asked the disciple, what do you see when you see this eyeglass? So he said, when I see this eyeglass, we remember this Prabhupada's eyeglass. So Prabhupada said, like that, when you see anything, you know that this belongs to Krishna. Like this glass, you think belongs to me. Likewise, the whole material world, this belongs to Krishna. And the object reminds you of the owner. But that is Srila Prabhupada's consciousness. So there is oneness and there is difference. Although there is oneness, the Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasure enjoyed minutely by the tiny part and parcel living entities. I think today we will discuss only this, will be the last slide. We will not cover one more verse. Although there is oneness, the Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasure enjoyed minutely by the tiny part and parcel living entity. We living entity, we also enjoy some pleasures. No? We may enjoy the home, we may enjoy the house, the car. We may enjoy maybe our family and relationships, friends and families. We may enjoy the possessions that we may have. Maybe we may enjoy the fame. We may enjoy, whatever. There are many things we enjoy, correct, right? We may enjoy the food. So the Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasures enjoyed minutely by the tiny part and parcel living entity. But Krishna enjoys, in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna enjoys everything unlimitedly. How Krishna enjoys the prasad, Radharani, Srimati Radharani cooks for him. Krishna is the most famous. Krishna, even Narayan does not have a loving relation. Krishna has. How Krishna enjoys a loving relationship with his devotees. Then there is nothing as beautiful as Krishna's about Golok Vrindavan. We may enjoy our house, but how Krishna enjoys his house is about Golok Vrindavan. You hear the description of Golok Vrindavan, so attractive. Whether it's loving exchange, whether it is Krishna has his own Bhaika, which is Garuda, which is way more enjoyable than our car. So here Prabhupada says, the Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasure enjoyed minutely by a tiny part and parcel living entity. So we living entity, when we go there, just like it is, Srila Prabhupada says, servant also enjoys what master enjoys. So when you become the servant of Krishna, then you also enjoy the abode of Krishna, the house, way better. Everything there, prasad is way better. There, everything, the loving relationship is way better. And so whatever the opulence is way better. You can ask anything from any tree and they will give you. There is no scarcity. Here there is. So whatever living entity enjoys, he enjoys there. And Krishna enjoys everything unlimitedly. But the problem is that we don't want to leave what we enjoy here, because we feel like if I leave what I enjoy here, then my life will become miserable. Or, where is my juice will come from? I mean, I need, and we are attached. And because we are attached to this, we are not able to experience that, or we are not qualified to experience that. But those who can let go, which is one of the most difficult thing in my experience, to let go of pleasures here. But those who can let go, they become qualified to experience that. And once they experience that, they never want to fall again here. They never want to experience this because they don't want to lose that what they have attained. And they can see the true nature of pleasure here is, Krishna says, misery at the end. Everything leads to hankering. Attachment here leads to hankering, leads to misery. So, but if we can leave this and depend on Krishna, then we can enjoy that. That's for myself. Okay, so that's what we covered today. We covered 2 verses. I don't think we can cover 4 verses in our class, but we will see. So now, are there any discussions, any questions? I think anybody want to ask?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Jai Krishna, Prabhupada.
Dandavat, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I think it's not clear to me for some reason. You described that Krishna has Saguna and Nirguna, right? Like he has spiritual qualities, but he do not have material qualities, Nirguna means. Correct. So, the qualities which we discussed, like 64 qualities. So, out of that, devotee also has some qualities, right? Same qualities devotees also have, right? So, what devotee possess the qualities, that's material, correct? But the quality type is same, right?
I mean, we say the body of pure devotee is spiritual. No? That's why we don't burn the body, we bury him, and then we go and pray. And the flower which has touched the body of a devotee, that is used for pushpa samadhi, because the flower which is touched, maybe if the devotee passed away, even if the body is dead, it is still considered spiritual and contains the same quality of the devotee. And the flower that touched the body of a devotee, like Bhakti Charu Maharaj left the body, then the garland that Maharaj was wearing, they took the garland and they used that flower, and with that flower they created Pushpa Samadhi in Ujjain and other places. And it is that flower is now representing Maharaj himself. Just like flower touched by the body of Krishna is Krishnaized, the flower that touches the body of the devotee is devotized, or get the same. So everything about, so that pure devotee is also Nirguna. Nirguna means no material quality anymore in him. Everything about him is spiritual. Same.
So, like for example, forgiveness or compassion, these are also devotees' qualities, right? So, how to then understand those kind of qualities? Like, if devotee has that quality, those become spiritual. Does it mean like that?
Yes. All the qualities, they're all spiritual qualities. It is said those who are not devotees of Krishna, it is said they have no qualities. Even in a way that even if there is forgiveness, then they have some ulterior motive. I should forgive. And they will think from a material perspective or tolerance. Everything is materialized. They don't know about Krishna, they don't know soul, they don't have love for Krishna. So whatever qualities they may exhibit, it is temporary by nature and it is material by nature. But only a pure devotee of Krishna is said that he has all the qualities of Krishna in him. Sakshat Haritva, Samasta Shastri. Haritva means same qualities as Hari. Sakshad, all the qualities of Hari. Hari means Sakshad Haritva. Haritva means qualities of Hari. Those are all spiritual. And others who are not devotees of the Lord have no good qualities, although they seem to have good qualities, but they are not spiritual by nature, or they are not there. They are a show, they are fake, or they are circumstances based. They are there, but they are not there truly. Truly, it will be there only in a devotee of the Lord. Or even if they are materially motivated by some means or other. So, which is as good as not there. Does it answer, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, now it's clear. Thank you. Thank you. Very clear.
Thank you. Okay, anything else?
Hare Krishna,
Any
Prabhuji.
Atulya, my Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam, Hare Krishna.
No problem. Just Prabhuji, basic question. So the first statement, when Krishna moves and does not move, can you explain this one also a little bit more?
So Prabhuji, how Prabhupada explained that he does not move means he never deviate from dharma. Krishna is dharma. Whatever Krishna does is dharma. Another way it is explained, he does not move means Vrindavanam parityaja padam ekam adi gacchati. Krishna does not take a step out of Vrindavan, leaving Vrindavan. So he's fixed in his abode, and he's fixed in his, like he never deviates from dharma. These are the two ways that he does not move. And then he move whenever he want to protect his devotees, he comes. He came to Prahlad, Dhruva, Gajendra, to the devotees like Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Paritrana Sadhuna Vinashaya Dushkitam, he comes again and again. So he moves and he does not move.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was thinking like we move, we don't move. I mean, from one place to another place.
What do you mean by we don't move?
No, I mean, I was comparing, that movement, one place to other place when we go.
Yeah. So it's just how, like, we can understand this inconceivable potency through Srila Prabhupada.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay, any other questions? Clarifications?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, done with Pranam Prabhuji.
Then the Pandamata Hare
So
Krishna.
Prabhuji, when we say Krishna moves, and like we say Krishna comes personally in Vrindavan, so the move like it's not, we are not talking about the like physically moving. We are talking about like you mentioned, Krishna doesn't move means he doesn't go against the dharma.
And another reason, physical reason is also he's always fixed in his dham. He never leaves his dham.
So when
He
he
never
comes
takes a
to
step
the
out.
when he comes for his pastimes in Vrindavan, but the Krishna or original Krishna is there in the Goloka that time.
Yes. No, when he comes in Vrindavan, this Vrindavan, that Vrindavan is one. So when he's here and there, whatever is happening in Golok Vrindavan, this is Gokul Vrindavan, whatever is happening there is happening here simultaneously. And whatever is happening there is happening there. And when he leaves, this Vrindavan, that Vrindavan, still the same. What he is doing there, he is doing here also, but in a aprakat form. We cannot see it. But both the Vrindavan are same. So he never take, wherever he goes, he goes in his, he walks in his own abode only. Although he moves, he doesn't move. That is a physical aspect. He is fixed in his abode.
Okay, and same with Radharani, right, Prabhuji? Like when Radharani got cursed and she has to come on, the Prithvi Loka, but the Radharani is there in the spiritual world.
See this, she's here. Krishna is also here. But Krishna goes from Radharani, based on that curse. Krishna goes from Prakat to Aprakat. But same pastimes of Radha and Krishna going on within Radharani's heart. He never left. But he went from Prakat to Aprakat, and that was for Viraha, Vipralambha, to experience that rasa. But they both never leave Vrindavan.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions, clarifications?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No questions, Prabhuji, but I
Yeah.
just remembered one famous poem from Telugu Prabhuji, which is said from Prahlad Maharaj to his father, where it says, Indugalad Anduledani. That poem, right, it says, यहाँ है वहाँ नहीं है करके कुछ देखना नहीं है। I mean, जहाँ जहाँ ढूंढना चाहते हो वहाँ 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 आपको मिल जाएंगे भगवान। तो ये famous quote I just wanted to share, Prabhuji. It was really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Okay. Okay. Thank you all for joining. We'll end here. Panchakalpatarubhesha Kripasindhuve evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavendra ki jai. Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna Prabhuji, धन्यवाद प्रणाम.
Thank you. Dhanwad
Hare
pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you Prabhuji.
Dhanwad pranam, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.